Welcome to the Creative Visionaries Podcast. My name is Tori Barker, a digital marketing specialist, business owner, mom, and you guessed it, a creative visionary. This podcast is about inspiring business owners, building connections, sharing success stories, and motivating others. Join me on this journey as we tap into your true potential and unleash your inner visionary. Thank you guys for coming back to episode 2 of the Creative Visionaries Podcast. And as you know, this episode, we're going to talk about successes versus failures and some of my success stories and failures that I'll share with you over the last couple years of owning my business, Creative Marketing. I think it's important to first note that failure is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that failures are lessons learned. Failures can be positive in the sense that you learn from your mistakes and move forward. When it comes to success and defining what success is, I think that it is definitely a perspective that can be seen in different ways. I went online to look up the definition of success, and what I found amongst a number of different definitions is this one here that I wanted to share with you. And it says, success is the achievement of something that you have been trying to do. Now, that doesn't mean that you have done it, you have reached it. It doesn't say succeed, but it's something that you have been trying to do. Success is an ongoing goal, something that you can achieve and then set a new goal to succeed and grow to. So I think that it's never really something that is final, that you can say, I have fully succeeded. But I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the successes that I really feel have been prominent in my business over the last couple years. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to some of these as well. So for me, one of the biggest things that I see as a success was building a great team for creative marketing. I started out on my own as a solopreneur entrepreneur and felt slowly, but kind of quickly built a team to support me and my clients. And I have had a great time tapping into my leadership role by bringing on this team and supporting them, watching them grow, watching them succeed, and learn with creative marketing along the way. A lot of people tend to define or associate success with a dollar amount or number of followers on social media or ad engagement. And to me, that isn't necessarily everything that success is. There are a lot of things that we can look at. One for myself that is relevant, a success is being a working mom, working from home while growing a business and helping businesses and juggling your personal life. That's a huge success. I know a lot of people can relate to that. The other thing that I find to be one of the most gratifying successes would be helping my clients. I really value the clients that I have and want to see them grow and succeed. So being able to help them through a pandemic so that they can keep their doors open, so that they can keep their business running and continue to be successful in the business that they have poured their heart and soul into. That to me is a huge benefit of what I do for them by supporting them with their marketing. I want to share with you a few quotes before I hop into failure and talk about that aspect. So one of the quotes that I love is, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that's by Winston Churchill. Another one that I love is, it always seems impossible until it's done. That's Nelson Mandela. And finally, a quote which will tie nicely into the next topic of failure is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Now, man, that is so true because, like I've said, you've got to fail in order to succeed. To be honest, I was racking my brain on what I could share with you as far as failures go. And, I was thinking about things that, maybe I didn't do right along the way, or things that I could have improved. And, honestly, I didn't really see them as failures. I saw them as learning opportunities, growth opportunities. And so I don't really, consider certain things along the way as failures. But I did find one thing that is a huge failure, and that's relating to personal health. Now, there are so many leaders out there, podcasts, business owners, who talk about the importance of focusing on personal health. And for me, that has been a huge failure for myself. It's hard to admit, but I really haven't put myself as a priority. There are so many books out there that tell you and talk about, the importance of personal health, especially as an entrepreneur, because if you're not healthy, your business isn't healthy. If you're not focusing on yourself and taking time for yourself, how can you recharge and give back to your clients? So that's one of my biggest goals that I'm setting for myself in the year to come, and really putting an emphasis on taking care of myself, not only for me, my family, and my business, but just to feel better overall. There's this story that I heard, and I can't even remember where I heard it from, but there is a cup, and the cup is being filled with water poured from a pitcher. Think of yourself as this cup, right? You're getting water poured into you, you're filling up. Well, along the way, your kids need something. So you pour a little water out, give a little bit of yourself to your kids. And then the next thing, your business needs a little bit more attention. So you pour a little water. So your water is slowly going down, and the water is kind of filling it up, but not really making any traction because you keep giving the water to somebody else. And the interesting thing is, in this story, it talks about if you, as the cup being filled with water, would have waited until your cup was full, all that excess water would have flowed over into all those other avenues, into your family, into your business, to your friends, whatever it might be. So for me, that really puts an emphasis on focusing on yourself, allowing yourself to fill up, to recharge, to be fully who you are before you give to others. There are several thought leaders and people out there who focus solely on this topic of putting an emphasis on personal health. And there's a few people that I want to point out as resources and introduce you to them if you haven't already heard of them. I'm sure you have. One of them being Mel Robbins. She's a television host, an author, and a motivational speaker. Her most recent book is The High Five Habit. She also wrote The 5-Second Rule. She has an Audible series that is called Take Control of Your Life. And she's a great example of somebody who is truly authentic and talks about her own struggles in her books and her podcasts that she's recorded on. But she's a huge, huge motivational person, somebody that I like to listen to and get inspired from. Another prominent leader that you should check out is Brendon Burchard. Brendon Burchard is a New York Times best-selling author, and his latest book is High Performance Habits. You should definitely check it out because he talks about performing at a higher level and how people become extraordinary and why others block themselves from possibility. And one of the recent stories he put on his social media channels was about self-talk. And I thought that was really interesting because he said that if your self-talk is putting you down, then how are you expecting others to see you in a positive light if you can't even talk to yourself in an encouraging and positive way? So that's just something interesting that I found. And like I said, I like to follow these type of leaders to inspire me and help me grow and learn and see where, as a business owner, I need to be moving forward. if you have recommendations on somebody that you love and find yourself inspired by, I'd love to hear from you on who those people are. As we wrap up episode 2, I'm excited because it's not going to be just me talking on the podcast. I have the opportunity to introduce you to some really phenomenal guests, and episode 3 is going to be one that I think you're going to really enjoy. This guest is a host of the Apple iTunes Top 25 Marketing and Entrepreneurship podcast and has worked with over 1,000 of the world's top entrepreneurs discovering their most coveted business success secrets. So stay tuned. I know you're going to love it. I can't wait to introduce you to the guests that I have and share so much with you along the way. Thanks so much for listening to the Creative Visionaries Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe, leave us a review, or share with a friend. Also, make sure to visit us online at creativevisionariespodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. And stay tuned for more episodes to come. And remember, it's time to tap into your true potential and unleash your inner visionary.